Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. As you can tell, we have a new color picture as our back banner today. For today, we are continuing our ongoing campaign now, since we finished one adventure, of the Against the Slave Lords classic AD&D adventure path. Let's call it that, for AD&D First Edition. And we are going to start at some point, but maybe not today, the Slave Pits of the Undercity, which is adventure for character levels 4 to 7, which the characters have all qualified for level 4. But hey, but maybe not necessarily be doing rules as written. We are doing it as close to rules as written as possible, with house rules thrown in here and there as needed. Rulings over rules is one of my philosophies. But before I get into everything and we continue this adventure, from where we left off, which is the final clearing of the mines at Darkshelf Quarry, I will introduce the players. And I'm going to go from right to left as I have you on my screen. So first, we have Lone.
Hello, I'm Lone, or my character's name is Zorik. I'm a cleric fighter, and I'm going to be pursuing finding out more about these mud tigers in the future.
Nice. All right. And just when you get a chance, Lone, if you know how to do it, can you change your screen name to your character name to Zorik?
Yeah, is it just?
I think you go to the gear, and then you has display name, and just put Zorik Lone, whatever.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
I'll do it right now.
Next, we have Amy.
Hello, I'm Amy. I play Arlindia, and Arlindia is an elf, and she's a magic-using fighter.
Right.
With her recon toad Bufo.
Yep.
Best toad ever.
I think that's something we probably need to explore in the future, just as a side. I know that the character who's playing Bronson is not here, and he wanted to, because as you advance a level, right, there's really no concrete rules for advancing pets and familiars, etc. But maybe we'll try to find some. So then you have. I know there are in other editions, but I don't know. I'm sure there's something in a Dragon magazine somewhere, or online. All right. Next we have Greyhawk.
Hello, I'm Greyhawk. I'm playing the Riordan, the fighter. I'm looking forward to getting some training in after all the adventuring we did earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And last but not least, we have Snake.
Hello, everybody. I play Veer. He's a chaotic good half-elf fighter. He'll be level 4 with training, and he has exceptional strength, 1888, almost the highest you can get for a half-elf.
Nice. All right. So I feel like 1888 is an important date. Something happened. Maybe like Jack the Ripper. Maybe. I can't remember. Whitechapel, 1888. That sounds.
Yes, it is.
All right.
I think it was.
All right. That's a different game. Okay. So anyone want to say what happened last time? Or do we just want to just continue? People can go back.
I'd say we keep going.
Okay. Well, very briefly, this is actually the banner from Slave Pits of the Undercity by the amazing Jeff D, the artist. So I put this here as a background that we will probably use until we finish Slave Pits of the Undercity. So I will take you. So a few adventures ago, the players cleared the keep. I still have the leavings of their destruction, going top down to take the keep from top level to a guardhouse, main level to lower level. And then here's a quarry over here too. And then they proceeded over the course of a few sessions to clear the quarry and the mines. So levels 1, levels 2, and level 3 here. So, oh, interesting. Yeah, thank you for that, Snake. There you go, 1888. You can check that out. So yeah, we cleared that, and now we have this keep, and yeah, and really I guess one of the first orders of business is Nestor will pay you the other 250 gold that he has promised to you after clearing everything. Here's Darkshelf. This is on the Nestor River Peninsula. Darkshelf is a village. There's really maybe unnamed or spotty villages, although with the latest trouble with all the slave raids, a lot of these are more sparse. The largest, like Rel Pool and Uskar, are similarly small village type places. Nestormouth is the largest small town in the region, population about 3,500. That's probably where you guys are going to have to go down to train, since none of you can train by yourselves. But I think there were some things you wanted to take care of before you left. The obvious one is cleaning up the mines, the liberated, the ones who are able and not so malnourished, are definitely willing to help you. The liberated captives are definitely willing to help you clean the stuff up. I'm pretty sure at the very least they're going to tear down all the iconography of the elemental eye, evil elemental deity that was that these slavers must have worshipped.
Yes.
Right. So it seems like a sort of like a evil earth elemental.
And then we wanted
iconography.
to consecrate the ground while we're doing that.
Yeah, so I don't know if Zorik and Bronson probably consecrate, at least with prayer, if not with magic, like all the undead pits and stuff like that were underneath there. But I know Zorik was also going to kind of cultivate these fingerlings as well, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt it. Study them. Like I said, I'm just curious about their nature since I haven't come across them.
Right. They're like an invasive species from the elemental or the subplane of mud or something like that.
Right.
Your investigations would eventually tell you, or if you read the notes from the priests and clerics that you defeated here in Darkshelf. Right. So
is there a
library?
Quarry, is there a library in Darkshelf?
Definitely not.
Or like a place where they kept records or anything?
No. Okay. I mean, Nestor might have records about keeping taxes and accounting because he's beholden to a sheriff. So Darkshelf is really like the way it's currently stands. I think I put the date on the Discord. I think we're like 579, 580 of the current of CY. But right now, I mean, Darkshelf and Nestormouth, for that matter, are holdings of the King of Nerond, which is mostly this way. And a sheriff occasionally will come and collect taxes from Nestor. So he kind of says, well, I have no ability, or we have no ability to do anything with this quarry. If you want it, it's yours. So I think you guys are taking the quarry, if that's correct.
Yes.
Especially if he's offering it that way, absolutely.
Well, they can't do it. It's just going to sit there. And then what if, and it goes, I'd rather you heroes oversee it, because what if they come back?
So I think we agreed that we're going to upgrade the quarry and the lands for 1,000 gold, I believe.
Yeah. And Benjen, the local, probably one of the most wealthy merchants in Darkshelf, who owns the general store, et cetera, et cetera. And I guess it has like a outdoor eatery now. Aside from it, his Benjen's general store. Benjen offers you 600 gold to invest, and he knows that you are tough hombres and hombresses and adventurers, so he will make sure, since now he is an investor, if you accept, that things go smoothly at our quarry, which is called what now?
Darkshelf Holdings, LLC.
And then, of course, Nestor would say something like, well, if it's all official, then I guess we need to send all this information to the sheriff and then the king.
Yes, and we were going to ask one of the now freed slaves, our friend, to be our accountant.
Yeah, Yogi, I think was.
Yogi.
Yeah, we talked about it off camera,
Yeah.
but Yogi apparently we learned this talking to everybody we freed. Apparently, before he was captured and enslaved, he kept books for a former master and was and so if he's willing to stay on board with us, we'd be happy to have him be the accountant for our budding enterprise.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's more than happy to do that.
And I believe off camera we pulled the freed now slaves, and 23 of them would like to stay and work at the mines and the keep, which will turn into like an inn because we could take care of horses because we have a, why am I blanking on the name? Anyways, we have the ability to do horseshoes and stuff. I'm just blanking on what I was
Blacksmith, furrier.
We have stables and a forge in the,
Yes,
in the
thank
underground
you.
section.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I did roll off camera. We did quite a few things off camera this morning, especially with regards to how much money. And if you, I don't know, you can't scroll up, but if you were able to scroll up, you'd see how much money these guys had.
I'm scrolling up.
And then we kind of figured out how much training would cost and how long it would take, based on the rules in the DMG. I think it's page 86. You're following along in your Dungeons and Dragons AD&D 1E DMG,
Mhm.
and how long it would take, how much it would take, and yep, it's going to cost all their money. But with investment in this property,
almost all our money.
with investment in this property and getting the quarry working, it did earn a modest amount of money. And then with that investment, not only can they expand or do modifications to the keep, but also invest and try to create some arable land to support the keep. And I rolled off camera, and out of the 58 liberated folks, not including the named Yogi and maybe a couple others, 40%. So I think that's 28 of them, or 23 of them will be staying, which is plenty.
And Benjamin gets first of right refusal to put up the gift shop at the Darkshelf Holdings LLCs.
Oh, of course. So, of course he will.
When we go to Nestmouth, do we need to take some of the limestone with us to maybe someone down there to look at it further to see what might?
Oh, that's a good idea.
What might all be able to be mined there? Because if it's limestone, we could possibly be looking at gold or iron or different ores.
Yeah, and if you look at when we looked at the maps of the mines, they're not really dug out. They really didn't have a lot of people, so I don't know.
What we might want to do then is find a prospector, or even better, if we could find a dwarven prospector, somebody who has kind of an idea of where to dig rather than just sort of randomly, pounding through rock here and bring them to Darkshelf at some point. We could ask around when we go to Nessermouth. Although if we're going to move like a block of stone with us, we're going to have to get a cart from Benjamin.
Yeah, or I mean, also you can go by river. I know that Veer, when he was out exploring early on in the game, in one of the sessions, he did note that there were a giant spider or something out in the holding. So I don't know if he wants to take some people and deal with that.
I'm sure he can do that while we're talking to everyone else about getting.
And then, of course, then there's the other 58, the other 35 people who want to try to get back to their homes from where they were taken.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's also something that's probably going to happen.
And can we post something in the local inn or maybe at Benjamin's shop that we're looking possibly to hire someone that might want to become a squire?
You could probably grab someone from the the group of one of the younger folks,
Yeah,
teenagers from the group of.
so several questions about that then, because again, we started talking about this off camera, so to speak. But so if Junior and Yogi are going to be remaining at the quarry now, I haven't interacted with Junior and pulled him on it per se, but that was part of our plan that he was going to actually remain here. I would like to bring on board another porter, or even sort of henchman in training, then to help carry gear, adventuring essentials, 10-foot pole, rations, etc., which are going to become more important if we're actually doing any kind of overland adventuring. And I probably would want to take a look at the stock of ex-slaves then, and see if anybody, maybe once they're nourished and better physical condition, once again, see if anybody is up to the task and is of the proper disposition.
Maybe one of the ones from the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure. I mean, you guys are their heroes right now, so.
The other thing is, I would also agree that if we're going to be, again, if our 1,000 gold piece investment is going to be going to clearing land and setting up housing for our budding labor force, if we're kind of turning into the lords of Darkshelf Keep, or slash the board of directors of Darkshelf Holdings LLC, we need to kill that spider. We can't have that thing eating our miners.
Right. He doesn't make a good pet for the area.
Yep.
I agree.
Okay, well, let me get you the name of your.
They have a nest with some loot in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So give me like roll a percentile dice. Whoever was wanting to hire, was that Riordan who wants to hire?
Yeah.
Or take on a link boy, lackey, perhaps future squire. 89. All right. So they're among these people. There's no dwarves or elves, but they're humans, and then the few half orcs and half elves. If you're interested in maybe hiring on a half orc, maybe, or a half elf as your link boy.
Sure. Are any of them particularly outstanding in terms of temperament or physical strength, or any characteristics that I could actually observe in conversation or on inspection? Anybody there with who looks like, yeah, they're big and strapping and could take a hit, or because preferably I'm getting somebody who isn't Glass Joe here, is going to crumble the moment that they stub their toe.
Can have them spar off with beer and see if they lose. If they will.
Yeah, there's
that's
a half orcs. One of the half orcs. Well, he probably needs to be fed up better. Looks like he has some good natural strength. He just looks like he might be
right.
Like he suffered one of the most. But he looks like he has like a 15 strength right now. I just rolled.
What god does he worship?
Well, he worships the god of his mother, so that's going to be what's a good sea god?
For Greyhawk, I don't.
Greyhawk sea god.
Don't have them memorized.
It's not. Well, fortunately, we have Google.
Google.
I guess there isn't necessarily a sea god. I'll say he worships Ilona, the goddess of the forest.
Okay.
is a good deity.
Alignment. Okay, alignment neutral good. I actually don't think I picked a deity, but I'm neutral good aligned.
He might
I
be
want to
able
just.
to. He might be
I
able
want
to
to.
help you with that spider to prove himself. Then.
Well, that might he can join us
Right
on
now
the
he's a little
spider.
sickly. Right now he's a little sickly, but
Right. Well, I want to get him rested up, and then maybe he can help join us in the spider hunt. But I do want to do sort of the kind of the secret handshake, so to speak, and make sure he understands my alignment tongue.
yeah.
I'm testing to actually make sure he's not like secretly evil
I
aligned.
mean, he's kind of. I mean, I guess probably because of the cruelty he suffered, he's not as he's not as it's a little not hesitant, unpracticed in the kind of language that and prayers that his mother taught him or said to him. But Kurz looks like he could be a good asset.
He's out of practice but conversant.
Yeah.
Okay, then that satisfies it.
So he's probably like neutral with good in parentheses right now because of the ill treatment. I'm sure they're trying to like groom him, but he resisted.
Well, that's my point. I'm trying to make sure that he isn't that he's not actually a worshiper of Grumshoe who's going to feel a compulsion to murder us at some point.
No.
Great. Well, then I would like to bring him on board as a hireling. Then
right, so I put his name there in the chat.
Can
he's got a 15 strength right now. His con is like a 7, but it's because he's sickly, and his dex is 11.
Actually, I'm going to give him my old scale mail armor and short bows. I'm not using those anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, we have plenty of stuff we could outfit him with.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask? Was it the mayor or whatever the town of Darkshelf's guy was that hired us in the first place? Nestor, if he has any intel to the town to see if perhaps there was a port in the past that was used, or
if you ask around, and based on the conversations with the liberated slaves, you find that the ship would kind of go to a point upriver and then be met by the boat, the boats that you guys took from out of that cove. Mm-hmm. So there's like, you could probably look upriver and see if there's so basically a larger ship, or I guess a brig in this case, could sail upriver to a certain point, and then it wouldn't be able to go further. I mean, it looks like at some point the Pelira goes into the hills and mountains, and it gets very has a lot of rapids and stuff. But before the cove, it's reasonable, and then there's a place where at least ocean going ships can go to. So you'd have to do some searching to find out where that place would be.
Could I do that while they're consecrating the inns and looking for everybody? Is that something I could go do?
Yeah, sure. Anyone gonna go with her, or who is gonna go after the spider, or hunt the spider?
I would probably hunt the spider.
I joined the spider hunt. I don't want to take chances. This is something that could poison somebody and potentially kill them right there, right then.
Well, why don't we all go in the spider hunt and see if we can track it down?
You might need a cleric.
Yeah. Okay. And then while you can go looking upriver too, right? And seeing perhaps where there were mooring areas for an ocean-going vessel. Okay.
Do we know what direction the spider went in the first place, so we know where to look?
Well, Veer can go from where he saw it, and then we can just roll stuff.
And actually, before we go and do the the current order of operations here, we're going to do the spider hunt, but I would say that before we start trying to scout out for I'm just going to call it the slaver base. Mm-hmm. up the river where they were doing the slave exchange. There might even be a slave auction there, depending on how well organized that they are. But I would think that once we have an opportunity, as we're reorganizing Darkshelf Quarry to fit our needs, go through and see if there's any accountings or papers or something kept by Bazali, because if he's a businessman, he's moving product, human product, then he probably has records, and it may even give us an idea of when, if there's any regularity to it, when the next slave cargo shipment's coming, because
Oh, right. That's a good idea.
we probably want to know if the slaver ship is going to be there when we show up.
Because
Oh, yeah. Good question.
if we
Good
find
idea.
that information out, maybe we can talk to Nesser.
Yeah,
Yes,
we might
okay.
even want to see if we can recruit guys for our raid on the location at that point, because the ship won't be able to. If we can approach it under cover of darkness, something like that, the ship wouldn't be able to get away that quickly. I really think we want to seize control of that thing. But first things first, we gotta kill a spider.
Kill the spider. Find the port. Take a boat. Free some slaves. I love our list.
Okay.
If we have enough time, if it's not for weeks, then we might even want to get the training in to so we actually get our new character abilities, because it'd be great to actually have improve the hit and whatnot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, let's yeah, because this is like in the first week of what's been going on and the like.
And we may have to end up going down further south to where we would train anyways to get some of this information.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
if it's not, I mean, if the next boat doesn't come for a month, then that gives us time to train and get back up here.
All right. So to go through the records, Bazali's records and the like, I need like a test of intelligence. So I'll that D6 that we co-opted from Hyperborea. So that might be Arlindia.
Well,
Or Zorik.
my intelligence is 16.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll a D6.
We need your book smarts here.
Hopefully she's smart today. She's averagely smart.
I think, does a 4 make it? Do you remember off the top of your head, Zorik? Lone, the 4 makes it with the 16s.
Of what?
Test of whatever.
Test of intelligence.
It's going to be like a saving throw. It's going to be, either you have to roll under your intelligence or above your intelligence.
No. It's what we use for Hyperborea.
And Hyperborea. No, I don't have the Hyperborea stuff in front of me.
I am sure our watchers and listeners are screaming at the TV to tell us.
Yeah, I know. I should know this like off the top of my head, but here it is. No, that is not enough. You need a 3 out of 6 to 16.
So I need to roll under?
Yeah, you need to roll it low. All right. So you can't quite figure out their at least.
So what would
this week,
so that I understand this, if I have an intelligence of 16 and I'm
right,
rolling, am I rolling under my half or what am I rolling?
No,
under?
so there's like so Hyperborea has like tests of, and they usually use it for strength, dex, and constitution. And depending on your score, there's a chance out of 6 that you will complete the task or complete the test. They also have like task resolution, simple, moderate, challenging, difficult, very difficult. Although I guess, yeah, that's probably right. So I think it's like a challenging task anyway. So yeah. So depending on your ability score, so for example, if you have average of whatever, like say 9 to 12, it's a 2 and 6, and then 13 to 16 is 3 and 6, 17 is 4 and 6, and 18 is 5 and 6 chance. So that's kind of what we're using.
So what would 16 be then?
3 and 6.
And I
So
rolled
you
a
need
4,
Yeah, so you need to roll 3 or below.
but you just said
So
3 or 6.
yeah, 3 and
We
6.
can talk about this later. This makes no sense to me. So keep going.
Okay.
3 in 6. So
1, 2, or 3 is a success. Okay. Does that make sense?
No, but we'll talk about it later.
All right. Well, you can't quite discern his scratchings and scrawlings and writings. You are able to see what denotes, stone um, versus slave, and you do get a feeling that that there's definitely like a place name that's mentioned often, and it seems like everything is directed across the Sea of Gurnat to a place called Highport. But you can't pick up scheduling or how much money he actually makes or anything like that.
I wasn't
Yeah,
looking
it's-
for that. I was looking for where he stops at most often, because those.
Well, definitely, it's Highport is where all the slaves go to eventually. It seems.
And where is Highport?
I will show you.
Because we know they get to Darkshelf.
Yeah, so Darkshelf is on the far right in this map. Highport is that white shield with the snake on it across the sea.
Okay, so when they get to Darkshelf, it just says Darkshelf.
Yeah, so they this is like a holding. So like they've raided up and down the coast, and this is like a holding area, and then they eventually ship them off to Highport.
And I think, and Carl, you could tell us that this is unreasonable or not. It's just for this to be like general information that all of our characters should probably be aware. Highport is in the Pomars. That whole area is swarming with orcs and hobgoblins and other humanoids. The dwarven / human Ulex state that was there got totally overrun a long time ago. So that place is pretty rough and tumble and piratey in nature.
Yep. Yeah, you probably would know. It's notorious. Yeah. It's pretty notorious. Okay. All right. So we wanted to.
Does he say in his notes where in Darkshelf that they would meet to leave the slaves? Because I think that would be. If I'm looking for a port, I'm looking for.
There's not going to be a port on the river, but according to the testimony of the rescued slaves, they say that they were basically they're on a big ship, and then it stopped somewhere on the river, and then the boats came and then dragged, the little rowboats that you kind of found, the like 10-man boats that you guys found, would then take them slowly into the cove, right? So it kind of makes sense because they were like,
cannot see on this map, right?
I mean, it's
if I'm looking at this map, the only thing I see that goes in is this Pelra river.
Right. Well, this is 12 miles per hex, so it's a big area, really.
Right, but I thought you had a map of Darkshelf where we could see.
There's really no closer in of Darkshelf that I recall.
No, we never got a map of Darkshelf itself.
No. Yeah, there's nothing.
Well, okay. So if we can't discern the schedule or where the slaver base is on the river, there's other ways to go about this.
Yeah, you could just.
My thought would be to ask because we should probably work this in tandem with Nystor, and inform him, and maybe even see if he can spare somebody, or we could go out there later to again take a peek and see if we can uncover this base. If it's us, we might want to do it after we train, or again we see if somebody from Neister's watch could, if they're up for a sneaking mission, could skirt along the river and see if they could take a peek at to see if there's some kind of settlement there that is full of rough types that might be it.
Okay.
Or see the ship, because again, there's a brig coming through there, with sails and whatnot, and it's going to be visible.
Right. Right. What is going on here? Okay. So now we're hunting spiders.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can like hunt the spider in that area and try to find out. Oh, because there's no intelligence check type of thing in AD&D, and it's an easy way to do it for me. It's AD&D. It's a game from a game that's AD&D compatible. All right. Okay. So looking for spiders. So I think Zork doesn't. There's really no tracking, right? But Veer knows where he saw it last, and then you can work from there. So we could probably do a test of wisdom, Zork, since you're the animal husbandry guy.
Okay, so D6 on that, or
yeah, D6. And what's
okay,
your
my
wisdom?
wisdom's 14.
So it's a 3 and 6. All right.
Your Hyperborea rules suck.
Are you saying, no, I mean, I've never played Hyperborea. Are you saying a 3 and a 6 or 3 of 6? This is what's confusing. I don't understand what you're saying.
A 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
That's what that means. 3 and 6. All right. All right. Well, you guys can walk around and see if you find the spider, like random encounter type of stuff. I could do that. Oh, but of course my. All right. So I guess if you're looking for it, and then you can also go down to the river. All right. So.
Well, we last saw the spider near the caves.
Yeah.
And you would think spiders hang out by caves, so why wouldn't we start there?
Yep. So I'm going to roll for the first.
The last we saw him was by the keep, because that's when I was covering you when you were
right. Okay.
Keep.
Well, within an hour. So it's like it says, roll random encounters for an hour, and since you're looking, I'll increase the chances. Within an hour, you track down like the sort of the trap door area where the spider would be. What?
Where?
Well, if you go to, I'm not going to really. It's all going to be theater of the mind for this, but it'd probably be.
Well, yeah, I was going to say this map is not okay. This makes more sense. Because we last saw the spider over here, right?
Like around here. So you probably track, down this way and then down towards the river, and then if the PDF lets me. Okay. Yeah. So you kind of find the trapdoor. So
Where?
do you find the trapdoor, or do you find the trapdoor? You encounter the spider.
Here?
Yeah, we'll see. Probably like somewhere off. But I think I have the spider somewhere. Yeah, I do.
Over here.
So it's considered a concealed door.
Yeah, I know. I gotta. You encounter the spider, whether it surprises you or not. We will see.
I think what he's saying is that as elves, we can detect certain
Oh, right.
things.
That's a good idea.
Because we
You
have
here, Warden. You have Bronson. You have Thoric. Arlindia, Bufo. Okay. But just we're here. Okay, so roll your concealed door, you guys first.
That's what I was
I'll give you
trying
that.
to look for. What do I roll for that?
Roll a d6, and if you get 1, 2, or 3, we spot it.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm not rolling a skill.
No. Nice. Well,
No.
Snake-
Apparently, I'm not looking at anything today.
yeah, Snake
But I
knows what to
saw-
look for. Yeah, okay.
I'm just enjoying the pretty sky today.
She's not being
All
very
right.
effective today, is what it boils down to. But maybe she's only effective in fighting.
Our finances.
Finances.
Yeah, she's thinking about Dark Holdings LLC and how to rearrange the guardhouse to, where's going to be the common room, where's the sleeping quarter, all that kind of stuff. Anyway.
Just concerned you were keeping this stupid spider as a petting zoo.
Yeah.
Although, here's my question. I would have to dismiss Bufo in order to use the spider, right?
I don't think you can't get a huge spider as a familiar.
Oh, he's huge?
No, but there is a chance you can get like a pseudo dragon or a brownie or something like that.
Oh,
But you'd have to dismiss Bufo
I don't think I want to do that.
or an imp, anyway, or a closet. Anyway, okay. Well, let's roll initiative. Since you didn't get surprised since Deer saw where the spider was.
I don't think you
I'm
want.
assuming you're approaching the trapdoor.
Are you
on the
asking
ready.
me to roll?
No, I'll have Zorik roll first.
Oh, it's like because if I roll, it's going to be a 4.
Well, I got a 1. All right. So the spider jumps out, but I mean, it's kind of, it's probably expecting. It's not expecting a bunch of right, expecting something small like a rabbit, I guess, and it kind of hesitates. So whoever wants to go first.
Well, don't you want to see if you can't ask it to leave, or are we just going to out and out go after it?
Kill it.
We're going to eradicate it.
Okay,
Yeah.
then.
Think spiders like in Mirkwood. No,
I don't think giant spider is on my list of languages.
Then I'd like to get in close point range.
Yeah, so probably Broyden and Arlindia can get a shot off, obviously,
Yeah. All right.
and that might end it. Truth be told, if they hit. So
Oh. Let's give it a go. So let's just say that we advanced to point blank here. Gives us the best.
oh yeah,
best
for
chance.
sure. I
So,
mean, you kind of surprised it.
yeah. So short range plus point blank. So +2 to hit situational modifier. Let's go.
That's a hit.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it might be dead with that very quickly.
All right. And 2 and a 5.
All right, it's not dead. All right, Amy, I guess your first shot. That's a hit. And the other 6. That's enough. That was easy. It's dead.
Good, because for anybody who isn't aware, poison is horrible in first edition for Dungeons and Dragons. You do
I guess,
not want to be poisoned.
I guess, Lone, you want to try to harvest those poison glands?
I was about to ask that exact question because I'm assuming you brought a vial or something.
So while they're
Yeah, I'll try.
harvesting, I'd like to check out his lair to see if he has anything down there.
You might want to set fire to the webs and stuff in case there's any babies or anything in there.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't know if there's any more spiders down there, either babies or adults. So let's throw a torch down there to make sure we clear the nest.
Or did you want one of the babies to take back in your vial?
No.
Okay. Then I think we'll throw one down there and close the hatch door. Is there a way for us to not seal it, but make sure that they can't squeeze out?
Yeah, you're fine. You just burn it. It's fine.
And what do you want me to roll to see if I can harvest the poison?
A test of dex.
Okay.
Roll low. Don't get a 6.
Dex is a 13, but you want me to roll a d6?
Yeah, it's 2 and I think 13 might be 3 and 6 still. Oh no.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
See, rolling a d6 doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
It's the DM's prerogative. So
I know.
Well, what else do you roll? I mean, he doesn't have
well,
like
like I said, you
skill.
can use the attributes as kind of the saving throw. You can instead of like I said, if my dex is a 13, I can roll a d20, and if I roll, use it like a saving throw. If that's the way that we've always done it. Instead of like a test of dex, it's you use your attribute roll as like a saving throw roll.
It amounts to the same thing. Like
I know.
like statistically. But in any case though, but see the problem with that is that kind of subsumes or makes PCs just as good as like an assassin who can use poison or do this kind of stuff. So that's I'm trying to maintain like niche protection. And if I can never find.
And at this point, I should probably point out, I just said the poison's horrible. Let me make this very clear. Giant spider poison, per the monster manual. The bite of a giant spider is poisonous. A victim must save versus poison or be killed. This is save or die.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good not to get in melee. All right. Okay, you botch it. And I would, if I were mean, I'd make you roll a saving throw, but let's see. What's your save versus poison? Is it pretty good, Zork?
Let's see. 10.
All right. Because the 6 is kind of a botch, isn't it?
Please don't say that you actually had one of the things puncture your hand while you were trying to manipulate it.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't have a wound, I don't know how it's going to enter my body. But
right. Well.
Right. Well, that'd be the thing. That's the only thing I could think of that could make that happen.
Right. Yeah. I guess if fortunately you're not wounded, so like you get it all over your hands, and you instinctively close your eyes and all that kind of stuff. So.
Can Arlendia pour water all over his hands?
Yeah. You have to wash your hands very quickly. I was going to do like a saving throw with a +4, but that's overly harsh. That's fine. Okay. I was looking up spider. Unless you want to lick your hands before.
No.
Mm-hmm. No, she's already washed her hands off. No licking. And Bufo would be safe in his box. She's not letting him out.
Wow, where does it say that? Special attacks. Oh, okay. Well, the saving throw would actually be +1, and they're not as poisonous. Okay, it's like a giant wolf spider. What was I looking for?
I don't know.
Oh, hey, There could be stuff in there,
In where?
in the lair.
Oh, so don't burn it yet?
Well, no, you burn it and then, well,
Well, yeah, there could be treasure in there.
okay.
It shouldn't get hot enough to melt anything
No,
metal.
it's not going to get hot enough to melt anything. All right, so you find after it's all done,
Oh, hold on.
you find 16 copper pieces.
Wait. I need to start this over again.
5 platinum pieces. It's kind of weird.
Okay, so spider. So how much? How much
March on
copper?
a merchant.
Yeah.
Huh?
How much copper?
16 copper pieces, 5 platinum pieces, and some gems. Gems are always nice. Well, 1 gem.
1 gem.
Yeah, 1 gem.
Okay. Do we know what color it is?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Someone roll percentile dice if you want. It matters if we own.
It doesn't matter. 50?
50. We find a semi-precious stone in there.
I thought it was a gem. So
Yes, a gem. Yeah, gems. It's a moonstone. It's about 50 gold.
It's a what?
Moonstone worth 50 gold.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's taken care of. All right.
All right.
And you guys are going to go to the river and explore it a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah, we're looking for a makeshift dock or pier, something that they might use to moor a ship versus anchoring offshore and using rowboats.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. So after 3 more hours, it's uneventful. You kind of come to the river. And you kind of move up and down the river, probably down towards the ocean, and about halfway.
Okay.
Yeah, so the river wanders in a series of lazy curves before joining the sea. Its main channel is like 40 to 60 feet deep. 40 to 60 feet wide, and about 20 feet deep. Most of the banks are marshy. So about okay. So probably about like a half a mile. Like it's about a mile and a half to the ocean from here, but about a 3/4 of a mile down, you kind of find an area that looks like, boats have been beached. It looks like it's deep enough. It's probably about the 25 to 30 feet deep area.
Okay,
But that's a very lucky or risky type of pilot to take it up here. It could get, it could, get stuck really.
Any signs of habitation in this place? Buildings, structures of any kind?
Nothing permanent, no.
Any sign of like what type of boats these were? Like really large? Like are we talking about?
No, it's like they're like the
vessels, or-
rowboats, like the kind of rowboats that you found underneath.
Then they probably anchored off and went with the rowboats back and forth.
Yeah.
Or this just isn't the place?
Or this is where they would, like a little halfway point, maybe something like that.
Yeah, it could be used for other purposes. I don't think we have enough information to draw a conclusion here.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I guess now the decision is, so after a week of cleaning up and getting things settled, you guys want to head down to train, right?
Yeah, there was something else I was gonna ask about. I was gonna ask around to see if anybody in town knew of any dwarfs or how to get a hold of one.
But that Bazali guy was a dwarf.
Right, but like a good dwarf.
I don't think Bizarre is going to be talking to us anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
If he is, I'm not talking back. That's
Well, the only dwarves they know were the ones that worked in the mine, which you guys learned weren't dwarves, but were
okay.
goblins. But no, probably have to go to somewhere.
Okay. I guess then we go down to train, guys.
Yeah, I think that's probably our next course of action would be to leave Darkshelf to go somewhere, go to Nessermouth so that we can go start training. Probably see if we can borrow a cart from Benjamin if we're thinking about taking any of the mined limestone with us to see if there's a market for it there. Or put on a skiff if we're going by boat. And then
Well, I mean, we do have our horses, so we could essentially see if we could rent a cart. Maybe some.
and then probably before we leave, just make sure that Nystro knows what's going on here because again, there's always part of a network here. His source, the slave traders who are doing the exchange, they got to be coming back at some point, unless they've already somehow gone word that he's dead and that Darkshelf's no longer a profitable venture. But I don't think that news of that should have gone out this quickly.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
Couldn't we just ask Yogi? I mean, if he's that
Well,
smart, and ask him to go through the books while we're gone and find out.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he could spend some serious time really pouring through them, and if we're lucky, by the time we come back, I mean, it'd be a month later, but by the time we come back, he might have an answer for us because I'd imagine that they're not going to make this run until they've got enough people on board for it to make sense.
Right, because he would also have an idea of when the last time slaves came into port.
Maybe we can even have Yogi try and see if he can get us any quick answers before we leave then. Just so we have a timetable.
I would suggest asking Quan to help with that.
Quan,
monastery trained.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah, someone roll 2d6. You wanted him to do before you leave?
I'll do it, but if they get 2 4s, then I got a 2 and a 3.
All right. So they're able to piece together like the schedule. So you kind of got a week. It seems like they come twice a month. So if you spend a week and they haven't come this week, a boat will probably show up next week.
So do we want to delay going to training for 1 more week so that we can deal with the boat?
I think
we need to. Otherwise, they're going to discover that they're no longer in control of that quarry.
Right, and that's the thing. Either if they don't send somebody out to the quarry, then Bazali would probably go meet them at a spot. And when he's a no-show, they're probably going to ask around in Darkshelf and realize, oh, he's dead. He's because again, Caritas made a point to that because he's an evil slaver, and they're not going to come back. So, unfortunately, as I would like to have been, trained up before this, but if we don't take this opportunity now, or at least at a minimum, we have to convince them to come back if we want to do a deception route, or we simply have to assault it now.
I think we assaulted and try and gain ourselves a sailing ship because all we have is a rowboat.
I would not mind having a boat.
And can Nestor get us some extra people too?
I mean, he has like those 5 men at arms that are generally men at arms, but I mean, if you want to get the town ready, they're more than happy. I remember you guys had set up nets too to try to catch a boat,
Mm-hmm.
right? To at least slow it down. So there's an area where you guys have set up like an ambush.
Well, I don't know if they're like fishing nets. I doubt that's going to stop like a sailing brig if it's a full size vessel.
Right.
I don't know. I'd have to look up. Well, you haven't told us how big it is exactly. I don't know how many people will be on board there, but I mean, if it's the big worry is if it's full. If this is actually not only a slave trading cargo ship but full of raiders, we might have a serious fight on our hands.
How far away is a town that we can try and go get more military from, Caro? Like this Relpool, I mean, or Nezermouth, straight down. If we were to take our horses and go straight down, how long would it take us to get there?
Right.
Or does Nesser have someone that is a messenger that can ride quickly? Because if we're under attack, we need to know.
Yeah.
So my thought is, if it's a slaving ship, it's probably going to have minimal crew because any rowers will probably be slaves, and it would just be a minimal crew plus some guards to escort slaves. So I don't think it would be a huge party within that boat.
Okay. So,
but that's my thought. I could be wrong.
Right. I'm sure we could probably gather enough militia out of this town to take care of it. A lot of people are probably wanting payback, and these people are the ones who probably started the whole deal. So,
yeah. So I should put the cloak on of that other elf girl that was at the keep, and then you have Bazali's plate mail, right?
Right.
So we could wait on that area that we saw boats coming up to on our little rowboat. Wait there for them.
Yeah, I think were they light horses? I don't know the horses that these guys had.
It just said 6 horses.
The ones in the stable, I don't know if they ever said.
Just said horses. I can look again, but I just wrote down horses because that's all you said.
Right.
I mean, if they're war horses, that's awesome, but I doubt it.
I mean, it won't take me long to look that up. Yeah.
It says, 6 horses in the stalls, light war horses.
Yeah, so they can travel like 60 miles a day on a normal terrain, which would be the road track. Yeah.
Okay. So could we say that Bronson is taking
one of
those down since he's not here to do that? I mean, if they're just taking it down to get a message to them.
If you guys take a cart with you, it's going to be 25 miles a day. But when you eventually go, it's like 2 hexes. So you could go. So you guys could go 5 hexes, riding, 60 miles or whatever, on those war horses.
Right, but if we're just ambushing this slave ship.
Yeah, so it'd take you like a day and some to get to Relpool.
So could we send Bronson on one of the light war horses there to ask for reinforcements? And then he would make it back in time? Or you say just go for it and not worry about it?
It'd take him 3 days to get. It'll take you guys 3 days to get to Nessermouth with a light war horse.
I'm not asking to go to there. I'm saying to go to Relpoor. You said that was like a day and a half, right?
Yeah.
So if we sent, I'm just picking Bronson because he's not here right now, and that we get his character involved. But to go from Darkshelf to Relpool and back, just to carry the message that you know, we're looking for armed men.
Okay.
Well, for what it's worth, if J-Ro and Snake, if you're thinking that this is going to be more like, this isn't going to be full of raiders, and then instead it's going to be a cargo vessel primarily, and that these are more really merchantmen than cutthroats. I guess the thing is that, you know, we defeated a lot of goblins. We did a lot of killing inside the quarry, but you know, we had a lot of closed spaces and whatnot. What I'm trying to account for is, like, are we going to have like a pirate captain, you know, come at us who's like 5th level, and suddenly we got a real problem? But if you're thinking that this isn't like, you know, raiding party, that these guys are thinking that they're here to meet with Bazali and make a transaction, maybe we can take them. I'm willing to go with what the group is thinking, though, and how to approach this, because I do think that we try to seize this ship.
Oh, I definitely would love the ship.
Yeah, I don't think it's a raiding party because, well, there's nothing here to raid. So it's more of a cargo type transport mission where they're either delivering slaves or picking up slaves from the quarry. So I don't think we're going to face big time raiders.
Okay.
You know, kind of think of it too. I just had a thought. Yeah, I mean, Bazali had a goodly number of slaves here, but this wasn't like hundreds of people or anything like that. This place is so kind of small time, so to speak. We're probably not facing, like, you know, a galleon full of enemies. Then we might be within our ability to take this in that case.
Okay, let's go for it.
And if we have some militiamen, the 5 or so with bows and arrows or crossbows, you know, they can be hidden, and at our signal, they can fire and hopefully whittle down the slaver party some as we're engaging.
How do we want to approach getting onto the boat then, if they're just rowing over slaves?
Well, didn't Carl say they beached the boat? So if that's the case, they're not going to unbeach it very quickly.
Well, I guess talking to even Yogi, right? He's like that. What they would do is they would, you know, the boat probably can't, the brig or whatever can't beach, so then they would probably be waiting, and then when the boat arrived, they row out there and take the cargo.
So who's our bow specialist besides Amy? Don't we have another one?
Me.
And am I a boat specialist?
Yes.
You specialize in a boat?
Not boat. Bow.
Oh, bow. I was like, boats.
All right. So Arlinia is going to be in the magic user's disguise. So Riordan, you probably need to be hidden somewhere. You got that longbow too, so you got a 600 range. So hopefully you can like take out the captain or the first mate, whoever's at that wheel, to keep the boat from being able to move, or maybe it's the guys that would control where the anchor is, so nobody can get the anchor up while we deal with whatever party comes ashore.
Well, I was playing with the idea of Arlindia and maybe one other person could go up to the ones that are rowing the slaves out and say, I need to talk to the captain because what was his name? The bad guy? The dwarf?
Bazali.
Bazali asked me, you know, we were shorted a couple of slaves. Did they die on the way? And I need to replenish them. Can I come on board and pick from your stock?
But probably up close, they're going to recognize that you're not that elf that they dealt with in the past.
If they even met her. But that gets us closer. Like, it would get me closer, so my shots would be more accurate.
Yep.
Anyways, I guess we'll fall off that
Well,
bridge when we get to it.
yeah, well, there's a bunch of ways to approach this. I guess the question is going to be like, one, is the boat going to be close enough that we're going to be able to see it, without like a telescope or something like that? Is it going to be close enough that we can visualize it? If it is close enough, there's a bunch of ways to do it. So you can either eliminate the landing party or subdue and capture them. If they send somebody out to land, I don't know if we have to send signals to them to make them come out or something like that. I don't know if Yogi remembers anything about how they're dropped off. The other thing, though, is that they send the landing party out there waiting for Bazali to be there to actually do business. If we know where the boat is, we maybe sneak up in our rowboat and we board the vessel and maybe even take them by surprise.
That's a good idea.
Just have to
maybe
be
having
be very
Nestor-
careful not to go overboard the metal armor. That ends very badly.
Well, no. I switched over that stuff, but maybe having Nessor's men stay with the boat, that we would have Beach there acting as Nessor's or Bazali's people, and when we see the boat, we row over and board it, kind of stealthy.
Yeah,
Does that sound like a good idea? If I'm gathering correctly, that's what you were suggesting, right?
Yeah. Because again, they're going to lay anchor, and they probably send out a party in a rowboat, and maybe even bring slaves with them. And then it depends on how they do the exchange. Just we really don't know if they wait for a Bazali's signal and then they send the rowboat, or do they bring everybody out at once. But if we get lucky and they do split up their forces and they got a rowboat that's going out to the landing to go do the exchange while the main vessel is at anchor, we maybe see if we just board the main vessel right there and take it, and then if we're lucky, the folks who went out to go do business with Zolly, by the time they figure out what's going on, we're in control of their ship, and hopefully then they just surrender.
Or force
You
it
can always
down.
ask a slave how they do it.
Yeah. I'm sure that's in the notes somewhere, or Yogi will remember. What do we have to roll for that, Carl?
what's that? What are you trying to do?
Find out if Yogi remembers if there was a signal that they would give before they'd send the slaves out, or did they just put anchor, put them on a boat, row them over to the arranged spot?
I mean, that's all he knows, really. But he's told you. I mean, it was very hazy,
Does he remember if it was in the morning or at night or?
Oh, definitely at night. Or early, it seemed like it was dark.
Okay. Then as soon as we see the boat come in, we could dress in our finest dark clothing and row out that way. It's going to take time for them to drop anchor and then get slaves from down below up and then into rowboats, lower it, and head them out. We could probably be there by then, I would think, right?
Yeah.
With Veer's,
I mean,
Veer's power arms.
If all else fails, I obviously prefer to seize the vessel. If all else fails and this plan goes, horribly astray, we could always pull out the oil-soaked arrows and just try and torch the damn boat. Hopefully, it won't come to that. But it seems like trying to lay an ambush basically at the landing site and trying to board their vessel might be our best bet. If we don't know the exchange protocol, we may have to improvise.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're not going to try to. I guess we don't have time to train, do we?
Mm,
Now
not
that
yet,
they're showing,
not yet,
yeah,
not yet.
now they're showing up in a week. We can't train. We can't even make the journey to Nessermouth and get back fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
So you don't want to leave it up to the townspeople to take care of this and just go get on with our training?
Not if we have a chance at a boat. Because, I mean, especially if we have an emerging mining operation, it'd be good to have a way to get our ores around a little quicker.
We might even gain more treasure that would help pay for some of the training costs and the like here. I lean towards saying that we need to take this. I don't think that if Caritas couldn't handle the well, maybe the quarry was more dangerous than the boat. We'll see, but I just don't gather that the townsfolk alone are going to be that we want to leave this in their hands.
No, I don't want to leave this to them. Because then we have more slaves.
And I share your sentiment. I want that ship.
I want the ship. I want the ship. We have a mine. We have a house. We have a keep. You know, need to keep growing our little holdings here.
Okay. All right. So what are we going to do in the meantime for that week?
Prepare. Make sure that we've got all the arrows restocked. Maybe get a couple vials of lamp oil and stuff to pack with us in case we have to light something on fire. Get Nesser to get his men at arms ready to go stage them in a hiding area. I guess just basically getting ready, unless you guys have a different opinion.
So, speaking of fire arrows, that is one way to keep that ship from moving, is set fire to the sail.
Sails,
It's not
yeah.
going to burn the boat down. We can have to invest in new sails, but that'll keep them from moving very easily, besides rowers.
Yeah,
Sure.
if it's it depends. I agree. It depends on the kind of boat, obviously. But since this is, well, yeah, it depends on the kind of boat. I mean, if it's like galley style, then you have rope propulsion. But you're right. If it's like a brig, a real sailing ship, you burn the sails down. Even if they're furled up, if we could score a hit and burn the sails down, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Gives us time.
They'd pretty much be forced to surrender at that point. So we let's see what happens.
Sounds good.
But otherwise I agree. Pretty much equip, make sure everybody's stocked up. Particularly if I'm treating Kurz more like a hireling, actually, from the tenor of our discussions, maybe actually since we haven't sold off the guard equipment yet, rather than use my crappy scale armor, given the guards chainmail and one of the broadswords, then so he's better equipped, or we have in our fighting hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, is there anybody that's really strong in town that could row the boat for us so it's all hands ready to go? Then we don't have to tire out Veer.
I would think we might be able to get one of the fishermen to help us.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing.
That's fine. That'll work.
And he might have a bigger boat that we could get out there in.
You probably don't want a big boat.
No, I mean, but bigger than like a 4-person rowboat.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay. Let's see how we do this. We'll do that. Oh,
Do what?
that's funny. Nothing. Okay. All right. While you guys are in town, at some point, during normal normal things. You see a couple strangers kind of come into town.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who would be there. Are you guys all traveled together, or maybe not? All right, so everyone roll a d6. Just have me. Everyone roll a d6, and I'll see.
Okay. How much you want to bet it's going to roll a 4 for me? Yep, a 4. Figured.
What we get.
I see nothing.
All right.
It's very frustrating.
Oh, it's okay. It's not about seeing. There's 4 of you. All right. So probably Arlindia, you're not there in town, but it's okay. The 3 of you guys are in town. Arlindia, you're probably making sure that things are going smoothly. You know, at least at the you're either on the river trying to set up the ambush, or you're at the keep trying to mark out potential areas for arable land. Anyway, so you're at the keep, but Royden, Veer, and Zorik, you guys are in town, and there's a couple strangers people you don't recognize, and I would say even like they have had to recover. So the 58 people who you haven't escorted back yet are still around. Of course, some of them are staying at the keep area, but some of them you've learned they're fishermen anyway, so they're just going to stay in Darkshelf. Like 23 more are going to stay in Darkshelf. So not a lot of people end up are wanting to go home. So that could even change. Maybe they'll all stay in Darkshelf, especially if you guys are, if they hear whisperings and mutterings that you guys are going to take over, right? At least the quarry area. So anyway, one of these guys approaches you, and one of the ex-slaves approaches you, and he says, one of those guys, I heard him talk in the tongue that the slavers used. As he points to a couple of these guys kind of walking the street, they're looking around at things, just kind of, and occasionally they'll like kind of talk to among them, the 2 of them will kind of talk among themselves. They're trying to be like not sneaky about it, at least inconspicuous, but they're pretty conspicuous about it, unfortunately. Well, for them.
So, Carl, is it just 2 of them when you say a couple, or
yeah, just 2 of them?
And are they human, or?
Yeah, they're all humans. And if you guys can like look around. If you roll a d6, you can look around and see. Since you asked that question.
Another d6, or just use the same d6 we rolled?
Yeah, another d6. So, right, okay. There's only 2 folks that you see. Okay.
Well, I think we need to follow them, see if we can isolate them, and then approach them for interrogation.
Okay. You just like follow them or approach them?
Just follow them until they're isolated, and then we'll see about approaching them.
Okay. You're able to do that? Yeah, you're able to get them sort of semi-isolated, Maybe they go into like an alley to chat amongst themselves. And you see that they're joined by 2 more men in the alley.
And let's see, there's 3 of us. What's the 3 of us? 2 fighters. Zorik is what, a fighter cleric?
Yeah. And
yes.
4 of them. Okay.
So, Veer, do you understand Orc?
Yes, I do.
They're not orcs, but they're speaking Orcish.
I'm sure I would understand it.
Yeah, you understand it. They're saying it seems like the town is on edge, and I don't see any of our agents here. maybe we should go check on Bazali. See what's going on.
So, are there any militia in town for backup?
You could probably whistle to a militia if you need to. Well, there's only 5. They might be at the. Let me see. There's not a lot of militia in this town, right?
Who did they say they were going to go look for?
The dwarf that we cut in half.
Right, the one whose plate mail.
Yeah, the militia. The militia are in town right now. There's you could probably whistle and they come running.
So, quickly turn to Zorik and Riord and say, we need to take them out or detain them. Do you agree?
Well, like I said, I'm wearing the guy's plate mail. I can step up and say, "Hey, I'm the new taskmaster now." You know, it's like you can deal with me.
Fine. Okay.
Do you want me to go with that approach, or do you want to just take them out totally?
Well, I mean, if you do that, at least that could mean Royden or Veer could get on the other side of the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Even
good. Yeah, I'm good either way. If particularly Veers, given your strength, you could act as his muscle, so to speak, while I kind of get into a sort of a sniper spot, so to speak.
Okay.
Yep, that works. And why don't you whistle for the militia to join you so that by the time this all goes down, we might have some backup to help.
Okay. All right. Well, Zork, give me percentile dice
I'd encourage you to keep
Or-
one talking.
or 2d6. Either way, if it's the same percentages or same statistics. So you could roll 2d6. Are you at and your what's your charisma? But if you're ugly, we could reverse it because these are bad guys.
Let's see what my charisma is. It's an 8, but they say that because of half orcs get a -2, but it's
but
dealing
okay.
with this.
Give you a +2. Yeah, roll 2d6, add a +2. Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, 2d6 at a time.
Oh no, that's fine. So it's man.
Okay.
Oh, they see you and you're in Bazali's armor and like, oh, we were gonna go out to meet you, my friend. An orc. That's like
Bazali wants
that's
to have
12,
our
dude. That's a
picture
12
him.
on the right. They're like, wow, it seems like the town is a little up on edge. Bazali,
Yeah,
I thought you
there's
were.
been a little toss up going on there.
I heard you were shorter, but no matter. I recognize the armor. Yeah. Because are you ready for the ship? This time it's the long span that's coming.
Yes, we're making preparations now.
Markel ship. How many captives do you have?
Are we exchanging this trip?
No, we're taking stock, of course. Exchanging.
Is it 1 for 1 again, or is it? Am I getting?
No, we're not exchanging. We're paying you. These guys seem a little like uppity in your mind, but
28 is what was in the keep to be sold to them, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, 28. 20. The other 30 were probably like used for the mine operations, but yeah, 28. So you tell him that, Zora?
Okay, so 28 was the last shipment.
I think that's the number that was upstairs that I think they were going to sell to them. So
yeah, transfer.
Yeah, so if you just tell them 28, how are they going to know any different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess we'll take some of that stone just in case we have inspectors. The near Dave. How do you pronounce it? sometimes as we ply the coast, we'll get a inspection coming from one of those happy countries. Even Nardiv is getting a little concerned. They say. All right, what do you guys want to do? They go, man, you're one ugly. I thought you had a an attractive elf, Bazali. They're looking at Veer.
Who are they addressing on the elf?
Veer.
I'm the new muscle.
Yeah. I assumed I'm not part of this conversation.
No, you're in position by now. You're definitely in position by now. And if you have militia, if you waved the militia and told them, you even had time to wave the militia over, tell them what's going on, and they're like at the other end of the street.
So I mean, we're ready to go if this gets hot. But go ahead and role play it out. I'm curious to see where this goes, because we could either take them now, or maybe you pump them for information, or maybe you set terms on how you want to set up the slave sale that wink wink we're doing here.
All right. Yeah.
We need to find out how many men that they have on the board their ship to accept our shipment.
Well, because we got 15 crew. I mean, that should be enough, right? For 28. Usually it's like a 1-to-10 ratio, but we got plenty of men. Plus,
they're pretty battered, and I think 15 can handle him.
Well, I'm sure the priest and our wizard will, if necessary, we can put them to sleep, and carry them.
Okay, when do you want to make this exchange?
Well, we're just off the coast. We get here a little earlier earlier. We got a coracle with the sail. Typical. We were thinking about heading out to the keep.
You can bring them into the keep. That's good.
But a couple of us have to get back. But not everyone has to go back. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, one of them says, "Yeah, I'm tired of standing on the ship. Maybe there's a few." What's her name still around? You don't have a chance. You don't have a chance with her. Yeah, that's what the guys. They're like, joking.
Are we talking just a local brothel, or
no? They're talking about Glirthiel.
Glirthief, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, Glirthiel, the elf magic user who Bizali had in his stead. His resident icy bitch.
Yeah, and then one of them says, "Well, those. I heard you have a couple half-orc sisters. They're probably like your half sisters, right, Bazali?" And then he kind of like, "Oh, maybe I said something." I mean, I was just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. It's a joke.
Orcs don't have a great sense of humor.
Well, okay.
So how many of you are coming to the keep with us, and how many are going back to the ship?
They do like a quick, Rochambeau.
Are they part of the 15?
No. All right. One of them loses right off the bat. Says, well, shit. I guess I'm going alone. You owe me next time, you guys. So he's gonna start heading off. He's probably going towards where Riordan and the militia are waiting.
But we want him to make it to the ship, right?
We do, because he's going to set up the meat while we take care of these other three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I'm just going to kind of signal to the militia.
Oh, he goes. He kind of goes the same place as before, right? Like halfway up the river. Do you want dawn or dusk? So these, I keep telling you guys, dusk is better because that fishermen always go out early and they might see the ship that happened already. So they go. They look at Bazali dusk. They're looking at you.
Zork. Yes, dusk.
All right. So the guy heads out.
But if we force them to do dawn, then we can have a fisher boat out there to get over to their boat.
Well, I guess it's dusk. The fishermen will be ready. You'll have more militia maybe with the fishermen, right? Because they'll be done with the fishing duties for the day.
Yeah. But I'm assuming that we could dress up as one of the 28 that are on the boat going over.
Well, you got Quan for that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's how I can get on the boat, though. That's the thing. I was trying to come up with how can I get on the boat.
You can go there with Zorik as Glithriel, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why would they let me on the rowboat? Is that what you're saying? Is I can go as one of the guards on the boat?
I mean, they just kind of let you know there's a priest and a wizard. You could talk to the wizard.
Okay.
What you do is that if we were going to deceive them to gain access to the boat and then take it from the inside out, what we tell them is, I'll come out to meet you on the boat. You bring the money first, then I bring the slaves. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can discuss this amongst yourselves. All right, what about these other three guys? That guy's gone unless you accost him, Jordan.
So I think we want to start leading them to the keep, and when enough time has passed that their buddy is headed off to wherever he's going to go to get back to the ship, then I think we need to take out these three.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this guy go then, and me and the militiamen will just kind of wait for your signal. So if things start getting heavy, you just give the word or holler, and we'll be on it.
So I know. So Bazali, I mean, I guess you're kind of out here during the day. I guess you kind of paid off the locals already.
Yeah, he always pays off though.
Yeah, if you want to roll percentile dice, that's probably fine. You're technically second, third level.
No, I didn't try it at second.
Yeah, so you can try. I think it's like 85% chance or something like that. Oh yeah.
Did I get it?
Yes. Okay. So 1.
Then I've learned it.
Okay.
Then that is the one that I will learn for the day.
Okay.
I learned sleep, guys.
That's awesome.
Okay. All right. So when do you guys want to gank these guys?
Just at the edge of town when there's no other civilians that could potentially get hurt from us fighting them.
Well, if they want to,
look what I rolled. Look what I rolled for the surprise. But
I don't see what you rolled for your surprise. I only see
I rolled a 1 for them.
Oh.
Can't see it.
They want to come to the keep, so it makes perfect sense to bring them in the back way to the keep. And then as soon as the door is closed, we grab them.
Well, I think we just outright kill them. And we got the 4 militia there with us to back us up, so these 3 aren't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, they don't. All right. Yeah, so they're totally caught off guard. So you guys can do whatever.
Okay, will they just surrender immediately, or are they going to make us gut them?
Oh, I think we want to eliminate them. What are we going to do with prisoners?
You keep 1 maybe. But it's up to you. I mean, you already got the name of. You already got how many people You know that they have a priest and a wizard. I guess they're kind of afraid of the priest. They could care less about wizards, but you know. And then the captain is Mark Hells, the long span.
Well, when they ask about this group, then you just let them know that they got so stinking drunk at the keep that they can't make it back to the boat. So they'll probably buy something like that. Yeah, I guess Veer and Zorik will fall. Me and the militia will follow your lead, because I'd imagine you're kind of stuck in with them. If you start
Yeah.
if you draw weapons and start swinging, then the rest of us will pile in.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Yep.
that's what I want to do. I want to draw my broadsword and swing at the first guy.
Okay. He's like, what the? Go ahead and attack. Yeah, +2 to hit. The other guy looks back and sees the militia. He goes, nice, Zorik. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You should miss.
Oh, that was terrible. I only hit an AC of 10.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they are AC 10. That is phenomenal. Yeah, their base AC is 10. That's phenomenal.
He
Fabulous.
takes 11 points of damage.
All right. Well, he doesn't get the last word out as you cut him down. All right, Zorik, you want to do something, or there's 2 more?
Yeah, I have a javelin that I haven't stabbed anybody with, so I'll use it as like a spear.
Okay.
That's the javelin +2.
Uh huh. Is it already? Let's see if I have it. Anyway, +2.
You could have casually, like, they're surprised, so you could have casually, like, pulled it out while you're walking, and the guy says, "Oh, nice. Oh, that's a hit."
Nice.
All right, so damage.
Okay, is it 12 hit?
Yeah, 12 hits.
And then the damage is
D6 +2 plus strength, whatever. Oh, all right. He's not quite done, but pretty messed up. Did you add the +2 and everything?
I added the +2 on it.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right, Rorden. There's one who has a javelin in his side or gut, and the other guy's like eyes are wide.
Well, let me take the shot at the guy who is not in melee with Zorg, so I'm hopefully not going to hit my teammates.
Yep. So the militia corps are running, with their spears towards them.
Am I able to take this at point blank, or
you can move in. You can move in to get it at point blank. They're like, I guess one of them was like, looked back and saw. I was about to say like, "Oh, Zork, you've got an escort and everything." All right. Clueless. That's a hit.
Okay.
He takes an arrow, crumples to the ground. All right. I guess we got to roll initiative for this last guy.
Well, doesn't the
Did the militiamen act on the surprise around here?
Yeah, they're running up there, right?
Oh, okay. They're further away. All right.
Yeah. All right. Unless you want to ask him to surrender, Zork.
ask him to surrender, because he might have more information to give us than what he casually gave you.
Do you yield?
I will see.
Reaction.
Yep. Reaction. Yeah, I got a 9. So he's like, I don't know what's going on, but Kel's gonna kill you, or they're gonna give you to the priest. Stupid half orc.
Cut his throat.
Who's that? Fear. Who does that? I mean, what do you do? I guess Zorik is the closest, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that him
no, he
complaining there
gives
was
up,
him.
but he's talking smack.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was taunting you, like he was still going to keep fighting. My
Oh no, he's
apologies.
taunting you, but he still puts his hands up.
Well, we don't need two of them. So the one with the spear in the side, who's probably almost dead.
Well, no, well you got Royden killed one, Veer killed one.
Oh, okay. So two are down, only one's alive.
Yep.
Right.
It's up to Zorik. It's up to you.
So like we need to disarm him and tie him up.
Yeah, he's got a dagger.
Just slug him and knock him out, and we can throw him in shackles at the keep and see if we can shake him down for information before we attack the the vessel.
Okay.
By which time, I imagine we'll be doing that in our session. We'll have we'll probably have, we'll have Woolsey back with us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And if he went straight to train, he might actually be up a level.
Oh yeah. I said we could probably take this boat a whole lot easier if we were trained up, but
Yeah, well,
yeah, I completely agree with that. I would have really liked to have trained. It's just admittedly with the time pressure.
logically, they're not going to wait 6 weeks, right?
That's the problem. I don't think that we. I don't. I'm worried that this slips out of our hands permanently if we take all the time.
Yeah. Well,
Trust me,
we're tying up loose ends. It's just that.
Yeah, the loose ends.
Oh yeah, trust me. I would have loved to have been doing this at level 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Arlindia has learned the sleep spell now, so she can sleep the priest if she sees him first. You know,
potentially.
That's the theory. Because is my sleep spell only one person, or is it in a range? Like
it's
group?
It affects hit dice.
Yeah, affects hit dice. So probably the best strategy is to use it against the crew.
The priest and the wizard, I would think, right?
Well, the crew, wizard, or officers. Probably the captain, the priest, and the wizard might be out of level for that. But the crew, at least you get rid of 15 people like that, you know, and then focus fire. In theory.
By the way, I might have misunderstood something there. It occurred to me when you're saying, Carl, about Bronson, Woolsey's character training. So he actually left and has gone to Nessermouth and is currently training there. He is not with the rest of us.
I'm pretty sure. I usually don't.
All I meant him to do was to go to Relpool, see if he could find people, and come back. Otherwise, he's completely out of it for the next session when he gets in.
We'll figure it out. But usually when someone's not in the session, we just don't use their character.
Well, I figured that. I mean, we're not going to use his character now. I don't want to take away agency from him. My concern is that it sounds like we're going to have a fun encounter here with the boat coming up.
We still got 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, 20 minutes to run a combat with 15 people. Sure, I just don't want him to. If he's available, I'd like to have him involved here.
Well,
obviously,
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure he'll be fine. I mean, if we finish this encounter, then he's in Nessermouth already. If not, then he's with you guys, just not around, right? For you guys. Okay,
that's fine.
Well, you get this guy. You put him in shackles. The militia gives you a salute, or they just ask if you want us to stay. You want us to tell you get that last guy, or I guess we'll look for.
He needs to pass a message along to his compatriots about what's going on here. We have to let him go so we can catch the big fish.
Okay. Yeah, so they're a couple days out. You can let Nestor and the militia know. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Well, you bring this guy back. I don't know if he can tell you anything else. He tells you they're mostly pirates, but some mercenaries also. You get names of a couple other ships. I mean, it doesn't take long to work them over. Generally, a coward. You get the name of the Eternal Sun and the Radiance, or a couple other ships that are plying this area. They kind of. I don't think I have a. Let's see, this map shows.
So are there different slavers, or I mean, is this
Oh, is it yeah, it's like a concerted operation with the base in Highport and the Palmars.
okay? So even if we take out this ship, there's going to be one of these other boats coming again in a couple of weeks.
He doesn't know what the exact schedule is, but probably not. If the ship doesn't come back, they'll probably pull back, reassess. Might take them some time to do that.
Well, it's good for us. It means that we don't have to worry about them like sending over somebody to go investigate what happened here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Is he at the keep?
Yeah, by now he's at the keep.
Okay. Can Arlindia ask him, why are you involved in this trade?
People are scum. I hate them. See, they trick us and they betray us, and
So I presume Darkshelf doesn't have a sheriff, but probably has a local constable, right?
well, Nestor is the equivalent.
Okay.
So you're telling me, Carl, that his answer to Arlindia is that because people are despicable, that's why he got into the slave trade?
Pretty much.
Are you married? Do you have family? Where did you come from?
He tells you he's from the free city of Neardive.
Near dive?
I grew up in the slums.
So you're not married?
No.
So
Oh, Free City of Divers. Sorry, Free City of Divers.
Oh, I was going to say, the Near Dive isn't it?
It's a lake, but it's on.
I was going to say,
Woolly Bay. Yeah, it's in.
I was going to
Woolly
say, yeah, I was about to say, Carl, you correct me if I'm misremembering. The Near Dive is the big lake, so the Free City there would have been Greyhawk itself, but he's not from there. Okay.
No. But so like it's like this way. Like
Yeah.
beyond the bright desert up Woolly Bay. So if I show you on that other map.
Yeah, you might have to put the world map up at some point.
Yeah.
It's not important.
Oh, this
right?
one here. Well, this is important. So Darkshelf is down there in the middle. There's Niron, and then across the Bright Lands, and Woolly Bay is actually like it's up to the far left. That's it, Woolly Bay up there. But
Where? Under Ernst?
it's to the southwest of Ernst. Right, so it's at the very that water that kind of looks like it goes up to the east, to the west of the Brightlands, and the Emperor of the Brightlands is kind of like a ruin, right? So from what I recall,
I don't see it on the map, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not on there. It's just not on this map.
Yeah, the map doesn't extend. This map is zoomed in, doesn't go far enough. But to the west of the sea, Gironat is the Woolly Bay. It's another body of water there that's all connected, and there's a bunch of settlements on it.
On the Woolly Bay itself, yeah.
And again, I think I would figure our characters would know all this being part of this game world.
Right.
That's those are the areas that have been getting hit by the slavers, the Wild Coast, going up towards Greyhawk, and then I guess they're all operating out of Highport, which again is the Palmars, which is a stronghold of orcs and hobgoblins and all sorts of other kind of nasties and pirates. So Highport is going to be a real rough and tumble place. It's going to be kind of anarchy.
Okay.
All right.
Well, she wants to ask him, what is your name?
Oh, jeez. It says his name is Ron.
So Ron from Divers.
R-H-O-N.
Rohan from Divers.
No, Ron.
Anyways. So you grew up in the slums, so this was the job that you could get.
Well, I'm trying to get into the League of Assassins, but they won't have me, so this is just as good, right?
Why can't you get into the League of Assassins?
I don't meet the prerequisites.
So you have any brothers or sisters?
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't.
Well, that's too bad because your line's going to end here.
Just I figured you should have killed me out there.
Oh no, we're going to turn you over to the constable for hanging. Make your neck a bit longer.
Unless,
and yes, taunting him.
Unless there's something you could offer us. Or the constable.
Because, I don't know, I've told you everything.
Sometimes it's not knowledge, it's getting people in. I guess the question comes down to, are you willing to turn? If the assassins won't have you, and obviously your slavers, not exactly the best thing for you, so you're doing grunt work at minimal pay. It doesn't look like you're well fed or well clothed or well taken care of. Maybe you'd want to turn coat. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Think about it before you die. But
snitches get stitches. I'm already a dead man.
But what if we could protect you?
All right. Roll 2d6. Add your charisma bonus if you have one.
I don't know if I do or don't. Well, how would I know?
What's your charisma?
9.
No. So just roll another d6 and see. He seems ambivalent to the idea.
All right. I just wanted to give you the chance. Because you could have brought glory to yourself and money and riches, and then instead of being an assassin, maybe you could train to be a ninja. I don't know. Just seems to me like it's a waste of your mother's birthing.
Doesn't seem like he likes his mother much.
You're in the days when
the name of the mage is named Aelith. You get that? And the priest.
Aelith?
Aelith, Ailith. And you don't get he says the priests don't give their names, apparently. He is a priest of the Earth Dragon, that's all he knows.
Markel's the captain. What was the name of their vessel?
The Longspan.
Longspan.
I guess you learn that it has armament. 2 heavy ballista and a light catapult. It's a cog.
It's got what?
It's got 2 heavy ballista and a light catapult. It's a cog, so it's like 90 feet by 20. And I guess the draft is 4.5.
Single-masted vessel, then.
It's a double, actually.
Oh, this is double-masted. Okay.
Yep. Well, it's probably like a main mast and then like a, triangular, or like a jib.
So are there rowers on board?
No.
All right. So if we disable those sails, it ain't moving. Other than drifting.
Yeah.
2 heavy ballista and what?
A light catapult.
Okay.
Are there any other slaves on board?
That's a good question.
Ron with an H?
Ron with the no, there are no slaves on board.
All right, so then I think if we can mass fires, we want to sweep the deck with arrows to kill as many as we can, particularly the priest and wizard if we get a chance, and maybe one of the party takes out the sails with fire arrows. We'll send them up in smoke, and then then it's an all-out melee.
I mean, I'd like to cast
Ask-
sleep. I want to ask him if the priest and the wizard are usually topside, or are they down, or
Or if they come ashore for the exchange.
One of them will, usually the mage.
so we could probably take the mage, and then I'll worry about sleeping the priest and the captain. Can we tell about what level they are?
It says it tell you that the captain is a champion. Is that right?
Meaning what?
He thinks. I guess this guy thinks that. Let's see. I don't see if that. I mean, that's under a different category, but let me see. Oh yeah, that's a great way to do that in fiction. I just thought about that.
So a champion is
No, he's a proper swashbuckler. Sorry. The
so he's
captain is a
level 5.
yeah. The captain is a proper swashbuckler.
So he's like level 5. How would I know that?
On the player's handbook, they have levels and titles.
Okay, and then what about a priest of the earth dragon or this mage?
The priest contends that they are the priest.
Third level.
No, the priest contends that they are a llama, but I guess more initiate.
Llama.
They call them. Well, actually, they're probably like more like evil druids. The priest is like it says he is an initiate of the fifth circle. At least I've heard that.
And what does that mean? You're reading this off as if I know how that goes to levels.
But
I know,
fifth circle would mean it's level 5.
No, fifth circle is not level 5. But,
Fifth circle's level 7.
right. I mean, yeah. So he says that the priest. He's seen the priest call down lightning.
So he's a level 7.
Yeah.
And so the mage is a 7 too?
No, the mage. I guess he's selling all these guys out now. The mage is a Kabbalist.
Which is?
Level 5.
So we're not really going to be able to take him.
Not one-on-one, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, my sleep spell, there's no way that's going to work on a level 7.
Yeah, and fifth Cabal's actually a illusionist, but still, that's.
Oh, is that illusionist? Sorry.
We're talking third level spells coming at us at that point. Guys, I don't like our chances if we haven't done any training whatsoever.
Thaumaturgist.
I mean, there's no way. I mean,
yeah, okay. If it's a thaumaturgist and it's actually a fifth level magic user, if we're unlucky, that could mean like hostile fireball and the like. That's bad.